right, good morning, Nigeria, and welcome to another edition of The Agenda, your go-to program for in-depth discussions on politics, society, and issues that matter most to Nigerians. Well, we're broadcasting live from Ibadan, the heart of Oyo State. So today we are diving into a topic that is stirring conversations across the nation. The obedient movement at a crossroads without Peter Obi, Julius Abure faction or Nenadi Usman faction. The obedient movement, born out of the 2023 presidential campaign of Peter Obi, has been a force for change, mobilizing millions with its call for good governance and accountability. But with recent developments in the Labour Party, including leadership tussles and Peter Obi's apparent shift towards the African Democratic Congress, ADC, the movement finds itself at a pivotal moment. Should supporters align with Julius Abure's embattled faction? Or should they back the court-recognized Nenadi Usman-led caretaker committee? Well, joining me in the studio this morning is a key voice from the movement itself. Comrade Jeje Ibukun, popularly known as the Oracle. He serves as the head of media and publicity of the Oyo State Obedient Movement. Comrade Ibukun, it's good to have you on the agenda this morning.
Good morning. And good morning, Nigerians.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank
and one thing that fascinates me most this morning is your
signature
cap or hat.
Oh,
That's
well,
signature cap.
Yeah, well, you can call it. You can also call it bonnet.
Okay. Well, this bonnet is a special one.
Yes.
Does it? Is this bonnet obedient to you?
Well, he's obedient to me.
It's obedient to
Yes,
you. For how long has he been obedient?
For like a year now.
For a year.
Yes.
You've been on it.
Yes.
Interesting. So let's jump straight right into the discussion for today. For those who might not be fully caught up with the obedient movement, can you give us a quick background on the obedient movement and how it ties into the current Labour Party crisis at the moment?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chike. So the obedient movement started precisely on 2022. You know, to be precise, when Principal Peter Obi declared his intention to go to Labour Party to vie, you know, for presidency under the banner of Labour Party. So we kick-started Labour Party in 2022, and I was one of the pioneers in Ibadan here, of course. So, and then interestingly, Ibadan, Oyo State, happened to be the first state, you know, to did the 1 million march rally, if you remember. Then and then the other states caught the fever. I think Port Harcourt after us, and then of course Lagos, and then it went viral. So obedience ever since then has been a very, very formidable force. And of course, you will know that that name obedience is coined out from Peter Obi himself. So it's a signature, you know, from his name. So, and that makes that movement patent, you know, to him. You know, so anywhere he goes, and that is why the obedient will say, anywhere Obi goes, we go. You know, because it is a movement, it's not a political party. And that is why we have, you know, artisans, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have mechanics, we have engineers, we have lawyers, we have broadcasters, we have artists, we have actors, and, you know, the rest, you know, among us. And interestingly, most of these guys, they are not politicians in the movement. They are not politicians, but they just want, you know, another paradigm shift, you know, from a detour from where we have been to where we need to be. And so they've seen this in Peter Obi, and that is why the movement has, and then again, the movement is self-sustaining. You know, it's self-sustaining. And interestingly, people at times, they will just want to like throw a banter at us and say, Obi, no, they give shishi, you know. In as much as that may be true, it is self-sustaining. And ever since then till now, we have been sustaining ourselves, you know, with crowdfunding, good funding.
With the little shishi that you have.
Even the little shishi we have.
Okay, as it were. Well, interesting. We're going to have a long journey this morning.
No problems.
And, well, you just gave us a solid overview, as it were.
Yes.
So you're saying that without Peter Obi anchoring the movement in the Labour Party right now, do you see this as a make or break moment for the Labour Party? In the sense that you want to ask, is the movement truly at a crossroads? You're forced to choose between Abure's holdouts or Nenadi Usman's reform-oriented committee. Are you in a crossroad? What's going on right now with the obedient movement within the Labour Party? Two things, like I said, Obi no longer a member of the party, and then you're caught up in a web to either be with the Abure-led faction or the Nadi Usman-led faction, since the obedient movement was hinged on an individual in the Labour Party, as it were.
Okay, so this is it. Now, let me start with the Nenade Usman and Abure faction. Now, the the obedient movement is not at crossroad at all. Like I said, it's a movement. It's the movement. And don't forget, we have obedient movement in APC, members. We have members in PDP. We have our members in ABGA. We have our members in Labour Party. We have our members right now in ADC. So, and then I think our principal himself has said it countless of times, and through global coordinator, Dr. Yunus Atanko, that, hey, we cannot say because I have moved to ADC, and then I should then say that all of the obedient movements across board should move to ADC. No. Some of them align with, individuals in other parties. And then yet, when it comes to presidential election, they know that there is an apex. There is a man that they should give their vote to, and that's Obi. Meanwhile, they are in APC at the grassroots. Probably they like a governorship candidate or a governor that is then in their own party in APC at their state that they like. All right, they can give votes for him. But when it comes to that apex state, which is the presidential election, of course, we synergize and then we give our votes to Obi. So we are not at crossroad. Like again, obedient movement is not a political party. And I said, a doctor can say, hey, I don't want to belong to a political party, but I love the man Peter Obi. And so on the election day, I'm going to give him my vote.
So you're saying that as it is now, the obedient movement now, being apolitical, as you were saying, it's hinged towards the ideology of an individual called Peter Obi.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. So if you go by that, some critics have argued the movement is too tied to Peter Obi, and that without him, that the movement may fizzle out, as it were. Without Peter Obi, the movement may fizzle out. Or even maybe driven by, that the movement may be driven by an ethnic coloration, as it were. Well, how do you respond to such notion from individuals?
Well,
two notions.
Yes. Well, I don't see the movements, obedient movements, being tied to Peter Obi. And this is where leadership comes in. This is where sound leadership comes in.
But don't you think that's a contradiction to what you started with here, saying that the obedient movement started in 2022 with the face of Peter Obi?
Yes.
And it means it's tied.
No, it's not tied. I still maintain my word. Okay. All right? One person, a leader will start a movement.
Okay.
And then, whether we like it happens in India. Mahatma Gandhi started a movement there. All right? Mahatma Gandhi himself is no more. All right, and then it's metamorphosized into a political party. And then they are in government, and they have, been out of government, they have been in government. A movement, as it were, was started by Mandela. NCNC or something. There. Mandela today is no more. Are they empowered? The answer is yes. So someone will start something. If Peter Obi is no more, and this is why sound leadership comes in. We have structures. All right, we have structure, sound structure, and that's why we are deliberate. Peter Obi from the apex is not just putting people, politicians who from just anywhere, into the structure.
To get it right,
yes.
to get it right.
Yes.
Peter Obi never founded the Obedient Movement.
Exactly.
Okay, that's to get it
Yes.
straight.
Yes.
Now, so you are saying that the Obedience Movement can work for any leader in any political party.
That has the ideology.
So what is the ideology of the Obedient Movement?
Beautiful. The ideology of the Obedient Movement is coined out from the from the 5 C's, that we formed and aligns with Peter Obi, and that also aligns with us, which is character, competence, compassion, and capability or capacity. So these are the C's that we follow, and that is why it is very hard for any politician since 2022, Mr. Chike, to infiltrate us, till now. And that is why, even online, those that cannot tolerate, the shift, they say the obedient people are too hard, the obedient people are too forthcoming, they are too this, because it is hard to infiltrate these people. It is self-funding. You can't bring money now when they have been funding themselves in 2022. I made bold to say that His Excellency Peter Obi himself has not given any states where Obedient Movement reside a kobo since 2022 to fund themselves. I made bold to say that. So, and that is why when Peter Obi is in a meeting with us, either online or offline, we are bold to always ask him questions like uncles, to his brothers, and then like uncles to his sisters, to say, hey, sir, Your Excellency, the way you want to go about this thing, we don't feel that is the way, because we see ourselves as family, and he knows that financially, he's not tied to us financially, and we are not coming, cap in hand every now and then to say, okay, fund this, fund that. We are self-funded, and that is why germane questions can be asked, and he will answer it. And if he doesn't answer it to our satisfaction, we re-ask. We ask again. And this is it, Mr. Chike. The reason why some of us are still left in Labour Party. The reason why obedient people, some of our obedient, vibrant people, obedient guys are still left in Labour Party. And of course, that is part of our political game, which I may not want to discuss here openly.
So I was coming there.
Yes.
But you beat me to it. But let me come in.
Okay.
Now, the Obedient Movements are still for the Labour Party,
Yes.
right? Some of them have moved to the ADC.
Yes.
Moving with Peter Obi
Yes.
to the ADC.
Yes.
Where are you at the moment? Where do you stand as an individual?
Okay, now it is simple. I am the media. I am the head of media, for Obedient Movement in Oyo State. Interestingly, the coordinator in Oyo State and some of our guys are in ADC. The coordinator of Obedient Movement in Oyo State, Mr. Yakemi, is in ADC already. Again, interestingly, I moved, to ADC. I accompanied them to ADC the first day we were to meet, the ADC member, the ADC caucus, the ADC excuse. I was there. I have some of the pictures. I was there. All right, but you see, it only takes a smart politician not to put all his eggs in one basket. The present president of this nation, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is not putting his eggs in one basket, and that is why he can go take a weekend, from a PDP and say, hey, come and work for me because you're vibrant, you are this, you're that, and that is why a weekend is at the middle. It's not APC, it's not PDP. You understand? And that is why, interestingly, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's even taking people from ABGA. Because he's a smart politician. Of course, I will give him his flowers. And that is why he will never put his eggs in one basket. And so why should Obi put his eggs in one basket? The Labour Party was his home, and I still believe it's still his home. All right? Because he vied on the Labour Party in 2023. All right? And then for an individual to generate 6+ million votes in less than 6 months that he came out, to vie, 6 million votes plus, and historically, that number, Mr. Chike, is the highest for any individual who has vied for presidency, who came third in the history of this nation. And then again, somebody came out 6 months, and he has 6. So it tells you that Obi, in his way, is a smart person. And so a smart person, such as Obi, will never say, okay, guys, let's just leave what we have built, you know, what we have used all our energy and resources to build, and then just collapse it and then move to ADC. Of course, I am going to ADC because probably my thoughts, my discussions with these guys, you know, the Abure faction and Nenade, maybe I have tried to speak to them in the closet, maybe they're not getting where I'm going to. Now let me move. But if you guys want to move with me, some of you, fine. Let's go there to go do, you know, what we really want to do for Nigeria. However, if you want to stay, some of you that want to stay in Labour Party, you are welcome, and then you are. It is a very good thing for you to, you know, stay. And then, like I said, it's a political move. It's a political strategy, which I don't want to, you know.
Why did you move to the ADC when you say the obedient movement is apolitical?
Why did I or the movement?
Why did you move?
The movement.
Yeah, you yourself. Why did the Oracle? You said you got to the ADC the very first day.
Yes.
Now, why did some of your members move to the ADC, knowing fully well that the movement is apolitical? You shouldn't be tied to any political party.
Beautiful. Now, again, sir, Mr. Chike, I said I moved. You know, I joined the leadership of obedience, you know, in the person of Mr. Yakiemi, to go, you know, get them to ADC. I am still in Labour Party.
You are still in Labour Party?
I am still in Labour Party.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm giving you the dynamism, the interesting part of all these things. I am still in Labour Party. And that's why I said, if the head of media is in Labour Party and his head is in ADC, so, and then we are one family, because it's a plan game. You understand? It's our game. All right? That we cannot collapse, you know, Labour Party just for ADC. We need, if we get 10 votes at the end of the day in ADC, and then we that are left in Labour Party, give him 6 votes, that is 16 votes. Instead, vis-a-vis him getting just 10 in ADC.
Is that not a form of anti-party?
It is not a form of anti-party because we are not a political party. We are a movement. And so, under the law and under our establishment, we are free to move to anywhere we see that, okay, our ideology still align with them, irrespective of whether, you know, the arrowhead has moved to anywhere. All we want is this. Mr. Chike, you will agree with me that politics is a game of numbers. So if you don't have the number, how do you become the president in the first place?
So I want to put you on the spot now.
Oh, yes.
If Peter Obi eventually does not clinch the ticket, the presidential ticket, what happens to the obedient movement?
The obedient movement still stays.
And they will go for who?
We will still stay with our principal until he gives us. This is the one to then say, okay, guys, let's look at it. I have not been given ticket, but I feel that, okay, now can we give this?
So
to
you just came back to
be?
what I said.
Yes.
That the obedient movement is tied to Peter Obi.
It is not tied to Peter Obi.
If it is not tied to Peter Obi, if he doesn't clinch the presidential ticket, would you, as a movement, go for someone with an ideology that is in tandem with the obedient movement without the influence of Peter Obi?
I have said this severally. I was on 2 radio programs yesterday, and I told them that personally, if I see someone ask me a question and they say, if not Peter Obi, if they have a presidential candidate in Labour Party, will I vote for that person? You know, and I said, as it is not even about an individual. It is about the nation. And that is why Peter Obi had to come out, and the young ones, you know, and everybody is, you know, vying for him. Now, the thing is this. If I see anyone who has a brighter and a resounding ideology that is more than Peter Obi, Mr. Chike, I will vote for that person. If I see anyone.
It's not time for campaigns yet, but let's leave that aside now. Let's look at the implications and the future of the obedient movement, as it were. Now, the question now is, what are the implications of the 2027 elections? You're still a member of the Labour Party. And so what faction of the Labour Party are you a member of? Are you a member of the Julius Abure faction? Or are you a member of the Nenadi Usman faction? Or are you on the fence or a member of the Lamidia Papa faction? Okay,
no. As far as Oyo State Labour Party is concerned, we are not for any faction. And we have said it repeatedly. You know, under the leadership of Alhaji Sadiq Ataishi, you know, we have said it repeatedly. we are not for any faction because the constitution of the party is clear. All right? And then if we truly are looking for a prosperous Nigeria, a better nation, why should we go for this in the first place, and start, pitching tents? However, individually, if you ask my opinion, I can say, well, this person is wrong, this person is right, this person shouldn't have done this person should have done that. But wherever the court of the land says, this person, we have deemed this person fit, that he is the rightful chairman of the party. So we go, because the national, of course, had to give us direction, which the states down to the ward will follow, to the local government and down to the ward will follow. So I have never seen, and I don't think you will ever see any Labour Party member in Oyo State who will tell you that it's for this faction or it's for that faction.
So as a member of the Labour Party in Oyo State,
yes,
who is the national chairman of the Labour Party?
The national chairman is very clear. The court has said it. And even INEC has forthwith brought Usman Nanade's name up, on the portal. So Usman Nanaji, all right, is the current chairman of Labour Party as far as the court of the land is concerned. And the umpire, who is going to be the referee, of course, during the election, has said that, okay, now we have recognized the courts. All right, and so Usman Nenadi is the person we recognize as INEC. So of course, we don't have any issue with that. If tomorrow the Supreme Court says it's Zaburi, based on this fact, based on that fact, based on this fact, we are a state. We are just working towards an alignment and realignment, for a good Nigeria and for a better nation through the national.
All right. Well, it's still the agenda on this, and I've been discussing with the Oracle here, and he's an interesting person, Comrade JJ Ibukun. We've been talking about the Labour Party and the Obedient Movement. Is the Obedient Movement at the crossroad? We'll go on this break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at more on this issue. Stick around, don't go away.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
right, welcome back from that break. Yes, still discussing with Comrade JJ Ibukun. That's one popularly known as the Oracle. He is a media and publicity man, the voice behind the obedient movement in Oyo State. Well, before we went on that break, we're talking about the obedient movement and also the Labour Party. Well, with Peter Obi potentially now in the ADC, and then having the obedient movement, well, a vast majority of them moving with him. Now, the question I'll be asking you now is, would there be a split in this movement at some point? Some staying in the Labour, which you've said, and some moving to the ADC, as it were. And then you see people following Obi. We've looked at these dynamics, but do you think there's going to be a split at the end of the day? What is the future of the obedient movement?
Now,
it's a tripod now.
Yes.
Those that will follow Obi,
yes,
those that will be in the ADC,
yes,
and those sticking with the Labour Party.
Yes. Now, there's not going to be a split.
Okay.
And there will never be a split. What is happening now is what exactly happened in 2023. Like I said, in 2023 till now, we still have our guys. Personally, I still have friends in APC who are fervent obedient till date. And now, the thing is this. When it comes to politics, you are in ADC, you go to ADC for political meetings. Those of us that are in Labour Party, we come to Labour Party, at the office at Molete for meeting. Now, when it comes to obedient meeting, we have our venue, irrespective of political lineage, leanings. So we have our venue where all of us converge. So at that particular point in time, whether you are a chieftain in Labour Party, you are a chieftain in APC or ADC, it doesn't matter. When we now come together as obedient, we are equal. Of course, we have our ESCOs in the obedient movement. So we don't want to know. We discuss just one thing. And one thing is, how do we clinch presidency, for a man that we feel and we believe that can at least take Nigeria, forward from here.
Okay, so if that is the case, and that's the question you're asking,
yes,
then let us look at alliances at this time. The governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, has ruled out coalitions with the APC or the ADC.
Yes.
No coalitions.
Yes.
And now you have a Peter Obi in the ADC.
Yes.
Now, could that also pull obedience away from the Labour Party if there are no coalitions? Could it pull obedience away from the Labour Party to stick their neck all out for Peter Obi if, conditionally, if he clinches the presidential ticket in the ADC?
Yeah. First and foremost, Alex Oti is not an obedient member. He's a governor. He's a governor of Abia State, and he's a Labour Party member. So he can speak for himself, for his state, and for Labour Party as a leader, all right, as a national leader in the Labour Party. He's not an obedient movement, so he cannot speak of where the obedient movement will go. As it is, interestingly, the only person that speaks, even before Obi speak, is Dr. Tanko Yunusa, who is the global coordinator of obedient movement. All right? Interestingly, he's the only one that speaks, even before Obi speaks. And then we then align. And then we look at it. We argue a lot, even as he is. So, I feel that everyone has his jurisdiction, and everyone knows where he is or she is in all of this scheme. Like I said, Alex Oti is a member of Labour Party. He's not a member. If he wants to be a member of obedient movement today, of course, believe you me, he will be a member because there are ESCOs already in Abia. He will just be a member. So for him to say there will be alignment or there will not go be alignment is for himself and probably for the Labour Party, which we are not concerned. But when it comes to politics, of course, me as a member of Labour Party, of course, I will align with what Labour Party says, if there's going to be alignment or not. But as far as obedient movement is concerned, we don't have any precedents or presidential candidates as it were now than Peter Obi. Just like, you see, this thing is, the ANC guys, the Showore guys, they started from Take It Back movement, and it metamorphosized into African Action Congress, and then the icon, all right, that they look forward to is Showore anytime, any day. All right, and that does not say that Showore is the de facto or the the on and on in the party. Of course, they have excuse. You understand, sir? So that is exactly in a way where the movement. We have the Kwakwansias. All right, there's the arrowhead there. We have the articulate. They have the arrowhead.
I quite understand where you are going to.
Yes.
But I want you to also come into my vehicle.
Okay.
And my vehicle is going to a destination.
Okay.
Alex Oti,
yes,
the governor of Abia State, all things being equal,
yes,
is saying that he's ruling out a coalition,
yes,
between the Labour Party and the opposition parties.
Yes.
And the opposition parties include the APC, the ADC.
Yes.
But your principal, Peter Obi, is a member of the ADC.
Yes.
So if Labour Party is not coalescing,
yes,
with the ADC,
yes,
don't you think that there will be a split in the obedient movement, as it were? Many of them will be going to the ADC only if Peter Obi clinches the presidential ticket.
It is a simple thing, and it is part of our game. All right, it is part of our game. I don't know if it is correct for me to say this here. Peter Obi and Alex Oti are together.
They are together.
They are together.
Okay.
If I must just come up, on that. So if Alex Oti is saying that there's not going to be a coalition, probably he's talking on gubernatorial election, probably local government election or what have you. But when it comes to presidential election, Alex Oti knows where he's going to.
Maybe it's too early to determine.
Yes.
Because
So
we don't want to preempt.
Maybe
Alex
and that's
Oti,
why I said.
maybe you're trying to preempt that Alex Oti might leave the Labour Party for the ADC.
No. I don't know. I can't speak for him.
Because
I can't speak for him.
Because days are too long.
Yes.
All right. Let's go. Just go on the app X. Drop your messages on the app X at DominionCast. At DominionCast on the app X. Okay. So I'll be taking some messages at this moment. At Floss Zone on the app X is saying, why not just dissolve Labour Party and join Obi in ADC? That's the question this person is asking.
Okay, I've just said it. Maybe it's just
dissolve the party.
Maybe we can dissolve the party.
That's what he's asking.
Yeah,
he says, why not just dissolve the Labour Party?
Well, the simple answer I can give my brother is that we can't dissolve the party. The Labour Party has been even before we became, and it will always be, and it is the Workers' Party.
So maybe I just help Floss there, Floss Zone, at Floss Zone.
Yeah.
Maybe the question should be, why not dissolve the obedient movement in the Labour Party and then move on to join Peter Obi in the ADC?
Because it will be a political suicide for us to do that.
Why?
Because like I said,
You still have some of you in the ADC. Your coordinator, your state coordinator is a member of the ADC.
Yes.
So why is it suicidal?
The question is this, Mr. Chike, does Atiku still have his loyal members in PDP till now? The answer is yes.
Okay, because of our time, let's move to the second question here by Matrix Bamisola at Matrix Bamisola. It says, is the movement truly pan-Nigerian or Igbo-centric?
I like this question. It's not Igbo-centric.
Okay.
It is pan-Nigerian. It is when people say Igbo-centric, I keep wondering what they meant by, maybe because the little issue, the Nigerian states, had with Igbos, in the 1967 war, the Biafra war,
the
Civil War. Maybe we are yet to have some degree of forgiveness. I don't know because when you say Igbo-centric, I don't know what that means. Now, for instance, I am a Yoruba man. I am an Ekiti man. All right? For me, naturally, to have left my grandfather, because in Yoruba land, Tinubu is my grandfather. In 2003, I didn't work for him. It is not about Igbo-centric, it's not about Yoruba, it's about Nigeria. And I keep telling people I don't have a tribe. I said I'm in Nigeria and I don't have a tribe. And this problem, I think we need to dissolve it and dissolve it for once. You see, You won't an average American will wake up in the morning and says, God bless America. He doesn't want to know if it's coming from Texas or Illinois. He doesn't care if it's a person of Chicago. He just wakes up and says, God bless America. And until we get this, this stage of saying, God bless Nigeria, and then we forget who is Mr. Chike, who is JJ. I am the media aide in Oyo State, and I go all out for Peter Obi. People call me names. You say when you get to the interior of Ibadan, they call you names. But it is because of the situation. Our leaders have put us in the state so far. When you get to Lagos during election, that is when some of our leaders of a sudden wakes up and say, this tribe should go, that tribe should go. They will throw these ones into Lagoon. They will throw them into this. During the election. And interestingly, sir, there has never been any party, any family party that is done in Nigeria, that is done in Oyo State, that is done anywhere in the 36 states of the Federation, that you will not see our leaders from the Yorubas, from the Igbos, from the Hausas, from the Kanuris, from the Fulanis, flocking together, gisting together, talking together. Peter Obi was in Ibadan some two weeks ago, all right, last Sunday, to commemorate with our governor, all right, for the governor to have called him to say, okay, now come to Aremo, which is in the interior of Ibadan, irrespective of whether it's an Igbo or Yoruba man. So I think our leaders know what they are doing. And believe you me, sir, these leaders are smart. I feel that the followers are the ones that are yet to be smart because they don't care. They don't care. The houses in Lagos now, the houses in Ibadan, who are the people that are so many in Iwo Road, selling pipes, selling tanks to us? They are the Igbos. I have Igbos as neighbors, and these guys are good people. I have Awusas, they are good people.
So basically, it is not Igbo-centric.
It is not.
Pan-Nigerian.
It is not.
Okay, so let me ask you this from my own angle now. Since Peter Obi left the Labour Party, what challenges have the obedient movement faced so far?
I must confess to you, and I say this, and I've said this on one of our fora, that I wish Peter Obi never left Labour Party. This is my opinion. I wish he never left, because his leaving had drawn us back, a bit. Imagine if he had not left. We had 6 million plus votes, in the 23 election. Imagine Peter Obi is still staying in Labour Party, and then we want to contest this election. Imagine the only vibrant political parties that will be contesting in this 2027 would have been APC and Labour Party. It would have been Labour Party and APC. We wouldn't have had ADC. We wouldn't have had, in fact, Atiku, El-Rufai and co, they would have been begging Obi now to come into Labour Party. Assuming they had not left. But all that has been done. But we still have our team. And interestingly, in the 33 local government of Oyo State, the obedient movement still has their structure. You call any number now, in Iseyin, in Igboho, in Igboora, they still give you the contact of obedient movement.
Well, we've got more messages here, but thank you guys for engaging us there. But let's take a few questions this morning. Just that time seemed to be far spent. Lulu from Lagos is saying, with Peter Obi now officially in the ADC since December 31, 2025, and many obedience following him there, why should any true obedient still bother with the Labour Party under Nenadi Usman? Isn't the movement better off moving entirely to the ADC for 2027? I think you've repeated that over and over again. Odwanyo from Oyo Town is saying, Comrade Oracle, the Abure faction is still appealing the court ruling and rejecting Otis reconciliation terms. They say the Supreme Court certified true copy actually vindicates Abure, and that internal party matters shouldn't be judicialized. Do you think there's any chance Abure could win back control, and should obedience wait for the outcome of the appeal court?
Quickly, I think I've also mentioned that it is the court of the land. we can't do anything outside court. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court, of this land, is the supreme, of course, and then we have the appellate court. We have, all this. So whatever the court decides in Nigeria, Nigeria is not a Gestapo nation. Nigeria is not is not a kangaroo nation. So whatever the court decides is where we follow. All right, even if the court, look at when the court nullified Obi's petition for the 2023, and then they nullified Atiku's petition for the 2023 election. We moved on. So if Abure comes back tomorrow, if the court says with all the evidences here, it is overwhelming that Abure is your leader, and INEC follow suit, we're fine.
You move with him.
Yes.
Chigozie from Iwo Road in Ibadan is saying, as an Oyo obedient, I am confused. Governor Oti says Labour will set up a reconciliation committee and that Abure can return only if he submits to Usman's committee. But Abure's people call it insincere. Without Peter Obi, is Labour Party even viable for 2027? Or are we just wasting time? This is coming from Chigozie, an obedient in Ibadan.
It's a very good question. Very, very brilliant question.
Asking if the obedience will just be wasting their time.
No, Mr. Chigozie, we're not wasting our time. I just said it. I just want to imply Mr. Chigozie, I don't know where his jurisdiction is, of course, so that he can, if he was going to put out his number for me, I can link him up with the executives that he's going to meet there, and then they take it up from there. We have our structures everywhere.
Well, we've covered a lot today, comrade. Is it JJ or JJ?
JJ.
JJ.
Yes.
JJ.
Yes.
JJ is an Ekiti name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
JJ
Yes.
Ibukun.
Yes.
Yes, for your insights there. Well, just one message for obedience in just 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, I just want to say that the obedient have been fervent, and then let us just continue, doing our thing. We will get to our Eldorado one day in Nigeria. It's not about obedient movement. It's not about the articulate or the Kwakwansias or the P-bats, the bats. It is about Nigeria, and we will get to our Eldorado one day, someday. Thank you.
All right, powerful words, Comrade Ibukun there. Thank you all for your comments, those who have sent in their messages. Well, we've run a little bit out of time at this moment, but it's been worth it this morning. Well, that's a wrap on today's episode of The Agenda today. The future of Nigeria is in our hands. Join us next week on fresh episodes of The Agenda. I am Chike Ubogu. Have a very great day.